Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Friday, November 8th, 2024. So, on a date which is almost surely Friday, November 8th, 2024, did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And did you do it surely?
Surely? I'm not quite sure what that means. But
Me neither. Let's start over. Now, did you do the crossword?
I did.
Successfully?
I did it successfully.
All right.
But it took a while.
Oh, yes?
Mm-hmm. Not as long as it usually takes me on Friday, but yeah, it took a while.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while for me to get into it, to actually find something I really knew.
Oh.
For sure. I was putting in words, but it's like, I don't know if this is right or not. But eventually, I get one here and one there, but eventually I got the whole grid filled in.
Mm-hmm.
And anything I put in that was wrong was corrected.
Well, I try and be very conservative about this. If I'm not, 90% sure of the word, I leave it off because I find it easier to visualize when there's not something there sort of blocking my view of the correct answer. But although I did violate that immediately with one across because I was sure that the answer to there is nothing more deceptive than an obvious blank, Arthur Conan Doyle, I went for clue.
Oh,
But the answer was fact.
Yes.
So I sort of had to backpedal because nothing was working there. Like put coins in. I was trying to think of something that started with a C that would reflect that, and nothing did. Nor did the parent company of Bentley, starting with an L, work either. It turned out that was Audi, That's down.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was a good crossword, themeless, so we don't have to. We have no theme to discuss.
Nope. That's true. That's true. But there were some interesting clues and some interesting answers. Like 18 across. Hold up. What? Hold up. What? The answer was, wait, really?
Yes.
So that took me a while.
I like what it crossed. Some underground channels, 5 down. And that was sewers.
Yes. Now, there's one where I put that in right away.
Really?
Then I took it out, and then I put it back in. So, yes. I thought of that immediately, but which tells you something about me that I thought about sewers.
I thought about pirates.
About what?
Pirates, and like pirate radio and pirate television, I suppose, if there is such a thing, but... The as you say, the correct answer was sewers. 15 across. Co-star of Netflix's The Umbrella Academy was Elliot Page.
That's right.
Yeah, I had to work. I got that from the back. I got Page first, and then headed to the left, as sometimes will happen.
And 19 across. Sitcom that popularized the phrase "What you talking about, Willis?" And the answer was different strokes.
Right.
Spelled different, not different, but different strokes.
Yes, I get much too argumentative when it comes to spellings like that. It's just like, come on, it's Different. Defend the correct spelling, I say.
Well, I suppose if one of the characters says, what you talking about, Willis, they probably say different as different.
I suppose.
Different.
I wouldn't know, but let's see. What else was interesting here? 9 down. It's been a long time since I played this game. 9 down. Turn upside down as a Monopoly deed card was mortgage.
That's right.
You turn the card upside down and it means you owe someone something?
I guess so, yes.
Okay.
I don't ever remember doing that, though. If you owned it, you just paid your money and then you got the card. I didn't know you had to turn it upside down.
I always lost at Monopoly, so I really couldn't say for sure. I liked 23 across. 23 across was Big Brothers, and the answer was Abbott's.
Abbott's, yes, that was funny.
And I thought the clue for 24 down, a nickel ain't worth a dime anymore, quipper, was Berra.
Right.
I knew that as soon as I read that. I thought, that's Yogi Berra. I don't know if he actually said that or whether just that was attributed to him.
I bet he did.
37 across, Lord of the Flies boy was Piggy.
Yes.
I don't know if I remembered that, or it seemed right as I wrote it out, based on various crosses helping me along, but I wasn't sure about it. Do you remember Lord of the Flies?
I did not. I don't think I ever read that book.
Oh, we had to read it.
Oh.
I think they were trying to make a point about us.
No, that
Misbehave at your peril.
Not on my reading list.
21 across was travels all over, so I immediately went for Rome's.
Well, I thought about Rome's, but then I put in, I had sewers, and so I had an R, so I thought, well, perhaps it's tours, and that was the correct answer.
Yes, indeed. And 20 down, in the middle of tours, we had same olds was ruts. And 25 across, fanaticism. I went for idolatry first because I had enough letters and it looked promising. The lottery certainly looked good.
Yes.
But it turned out to be zealotry.
Right. Idolatry.
That's sort of when you like worship someone, right?
When you worship a false god.
Right. Well, that's close to fanaticism. I mean, you're sort of fanatic about this one god.
I guess.
So. But it turned out to be, as you say, zealotry, or as I say, zealotry. I like 39 across. Let me try that again. Robin Williams called it a hideous, gaudy place. It may not be the end of the world per se, but you can certainly see it from there. And the answer was Las Vegas.
That's correct, yes.
But they're not putting that on a billboard anytime soon. They also probably did not invite him to represent Las Vegas in any official capacity. And 40 down. One who's on a roll, voter.
Yes.
I'm like, stop talking about elections and politics. Give us a break, New York Times.
Well, it was a decent clue, though.
It was a decent clue.
One who's on a roll.
It was just the wrong clue. It was the right clue, but at the wrong time. So.
The one right, well, no, it's a little farther down. 51 across. I guess it crosses with voter, yes. 51 across. Dessert that, despite its name, is better classified as a pie or tart. And that was a cheesecake.
Yes.
I always wondered why they called it a cheesecake and not a cheese pie, because it is more like a pie than a cake. Well,
that's a great question.
And I mean, like a cake is made with flour and leavening, and a cheesecake doesn't have any of those ingredients. It's made with cream cheese and sugar, of course, eggs. But anyway.
Maybe they decided that cheese pie did not sound particularly appetizing, nor cheese tart.
Well, perhaps not. But cheesecake.
So I ended up in the bottom right corner, sort of flailing around, because we had 41 across. Having kinks say was curled.
Yes.
I did not know that.
That was one of the last words I put in.
So you were also in that area, because and that crossed with 27 down. Dairy heavy dessert popular throughout Latin America, and it looks like tres leches.
Right.
Which I was thinking it was, at first I thought it was French, and tres means very, and I think leche might be related. I mean, milk is lait, L-A-I-T, but I don't know, for some reason leche looked familiar too, as a word representing dairy products or something. I may just be imagining that, but
no, that's leche. I believe that's like milk.
But the thing is, it's Latin America, so I was expecting it was going to be something Spanish.
Well,
either way, I was definitely having
leche is Spanish.
Okay, I don't know. It's just that tres looks like very in French. But so having kinks say curled, that's when you curl your hair and you get sort of the little Orphan Annie look. Is that the idea?
No. It's just, anything that would have a kink in it, like a cord or a string or something, it's curled.
Okay. So it's not a reference to hair.
I don't think so. I mean, kinks aren't curls. Curls are different than, you don't put your hair in curlers to get it to kink, you have to do something else to make it kinky.
I wouldn't know. But I mean, if you curl a cord, you don't necessarily get kinks in the cord as a result of curling it.
No, but if it does have kinks in it, it would be curled, right? You know, it would have a little curl in it that would tighten up and then, cut off the cord.
Well, I suppose so. By the way, listeners, Jean was just gesticulating there, making the symbol, the universally recognized symbol of a curl.
I was trying to make my fingers into a curl.
Ah, okay. I was wondering about that. And then we had 41 down. Twee was cutesy.
Cutesy, yes.
Gain one of those words that has to be banned from the English language.
Oh, cutesy.
Twee.
Oh, it's
Actually, I do like twee. I like twee. I like deets. I like yeet. I like some of these words. I'm still annoyed at different strokes. Curse that misspelling. And they actually had a French term, somme and serait are forms of it, and the answer was être, which means to be.
To be. Right.
So finally, a French word I can answer. Oh, and they had another one that was actually quite nice. French bread. So I put down pain, P-A-I-N, but it was euro.
That's right.
That kind of bread.
That kind of bread.
That was a great clue.
Mm-hmm. I also liked 44, kept up to speed in a way, and that was C-C-E-D, CC'd.
I wasn't sure about the E in that. If you CC'd someone, for some reason I just want to write it as CC apostrophe D, which of course you wouldn't typically do in the crossword, but I guess it works there. I did like a lot 44 cross, one working on a long distance relationship, and it was cultural attaché.
That's right.
I had the L as the third letter, and I thought it was going to be tell us something.
Oh.
So I was sort of working in that direction, but
no.
Something entirely different.
That's right. That's right.
So.
And 2 under that, 53 across, a great answer here. Humble request, entreaties.
Yes.
I don't know that I use that word, entreaties. I've said entreat, like, you might entreat someone to do something, but I don't know that I've ever done entreaties.
Well, you'd have to be like a person of authority, and you could say, peasants, quit with the entreaties already. Which I believe is also a set of islands in the Atlantic. Wait, that might be the Antipodes, and that might not be in the Atlantic. Anyway, all right, I think that's probably it for the crossword.
Okay.
But it's Friday.
Yes, it is.
Which means it's time for Fun Fact Friday. Do you have a fun fact for Fun Fact Friday?
I do have a fun fact.
Oh, good.
Yesterday's crossword had a clue, claymation character of old SNL. And the answer to that was Mr. Bill.
Yes.
So I have a few fun facts about Mr. Bill.
Okay, good.
Okay. He is a clay, this is from Wikipedia, he's a clay figurine star of a parody of children's movies show created by Walter Williams in 1974. The Mr. Bill showing got his first start on Saturday Night Live as a series of Super 8 films sent in response to the show's request for home movies during the first season.
They needed home movies?
Yes.
They were so short of material?
Somebody wanted them to do home movies, so they created Mr. Bill.
All right.
His first appearance was in 1976, and after 5 submitted films, Williams, the guy who first created him, became a full-time writer for the show and wrote over 20 sketches about Mr. Bill.
Wow.
Each Mr. Bill episode started innocently, but quickly turned dangerous for Mr. Bill and his dog Spot. He would suffer various indignities inflicted by Mr. Hands, a man seen only as a pair of hands, originally performed by Vance DeGeneres, who, yes, is the brother of Ellen DeGeneres. Sometimes the abuse came from Sluggo, another clay character which Mr. Hands jokingly brands as one of Mr. Bill's best friends. A running gag in the sketches is whenever Sluggo would make his appearance, Mr. Bill would get worried and say, "He's going to be mean to me." to which Mr. Hans often gives him reassurance by responding, "No." The violence inevitably escalated, generally ending with Mr. Bill being crushed or dismembered while squealing, "Oh, no," in a falsetto voice.
Ouch.
The concept for Mr. Hans came from Williams' observation that children's cartoons in the 1970s were so static, he expected the artist's hands to enter the screen at any moment and physically start moving the drawings around. So Mr. Hans was born. And it goes on to talk about many things that Mr. Bill would do. He did eventually move to New York. And then later he became aware of Mr. Hans and Sluggo's mistreatment. And in the 1979-80 season, harboring an extended story arc where Mr. Bill lost his home, sought psychiatric help, attempted to get Mr. Hans and Sluggo arrested, and was ultimately thrown into prison. So the characters in Mr. Bill were, of course, Mr. Bill and Spot, Mr. Bill's dog, who dies in most episodes, Sluggo, the main villain, Mr. Hans, and which subject Mr. Bill to abuse, often at Sluggo's prompting. Mr. Hans also serves as the narrator. There's Miss Sally, who is Mr. Bill's girlfriend, Mr. Bill's mom, seen primarily in flashbacks, Billy, who is Mr. Bill and Miss Sally's son, and Sluggo clones. There would be duplicates of Sluggo, often seen in crowd shots. So even though he died in most of the episodes, he would reappear in the background as an extra. So anyway, and then they did do some other things with Mr. Bill in the 90s, but the last thing I think was 1997, where he had a straight-to-video, "Ho, ho, ho, no!" It's Mr. Bill's Christmas special that also featured Father Guido Sarducci, which was another SNL character.
Right.
Anyway, a few fun facts about Mr. Bill.
Well, thank you so much for taking us
down memory lane.
Down memory lane, exactly. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, with that, I think that is it for today. So thanks, everyone, for listening. Saturday's crossword's going to be out soon. We are going to tackle it. We hope you will too. Think it's going to be tough?
Probably.
All right. Well, we'll find out shortly, and we'll be back to talk about that tomorrow.
Bye-bye.